The White House also released a list of 24 people, some of whom came to the U.S. and became citizens, but originated from some of those 7 banned countries. And Vlad, the White House points to them as examples of the type of person they're trying to keep out, because all of them developed either ties to terrorism or targeted Americans themselves.
Margaret, in your report, Supreme Court nominee Judge Gorsuch called the attacks disheartening. Will this cause trouble for his confirmation?
Let's see what President Trump responds with, if anything. We haven't heard from the White House just yet, but I will say, Vlad, this reporting that we've done on this comes from the nominating committee working with Judge Gorsuch. So they are well aware of what needs to be said and how frank the Supreme Court nominee needs to be when he answers questions from senators, as he is doing today and will continue to do tomorrow. Remember, he's not confirmed yet. He has to answer questions on Capitol Hill in a hearing that'll be open, that'll be widely reported on and covered. And so for him, it would be hard to avoid commenting in many ways. It's just a matter of time. So perhaps this clears the way for his hearing to be less complicated, but we just don't know how the president himself is going to respond. So we'll see.
You were in the White House press briefing on Wednesday. How are they defending the president's comments about the justice system?
Well, it's interesting because clearly President Trump feels very strongly, as was clear in his comments today, about this travel ban and the legality of it. But what's being debated now is whether or not to freeze or unfreeze the temporary travel ban itself. They haven't gotten to a decision overall on the legality of the law and the constitutionality of it. So the White House, in so many ways, is trying to explain that and play down the impact of this freeze on the travel ban, saying, well, we don't yet have a broader ruling of whether this is constitutional or not, but we do broadly believe that this will be upheld, that what the president is doing is in the interest of the country by freezing all travel, all entry of refugees, and indefinitely freeze anyone coming in from Syria. So they believe that they will have the Justice Department and the law on their side. But as we pointed out, this is about upholding constitutionality. There are multiple branches of government, 3 of them for a reason, in order to provide checks and balances. So the courts need to show their impartiality and that they are truly ruling on the law, not just agreeing with the president because he told them to do something.
Absolutely. And Margaret, you mentioned a White House list of people who've come into the country and have been charged with acts of terrorism. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, it's a list of 20 or so people that the White House says are representative of the kind of person they're trying to ban from entering the United States. All of them come from countries on that list of 7 banned states. The thing is many of them went on to become American citizens. They lived in this country for many years. They didn't at that time appear to pose an immediate threat. What the president himself has articulated in the past few days is that there is an immediate one. It's about who's entering the country now. What the White House list suggests is that they're also looking at who has entered the country in the past. But this is a varied list of individuals, one of whom is even an arms dealer who was arrested abroad and brought to the United States to face charges. So it's not the kind of person who is just showing up in an airport, which is what we have been hearing poses the most immediate threat, someone entering right now.
Margaret Brennan at the White House. Margaret, thank you for your reporting.